So this guy donated me money, and he wants me to look over his matches. And so I figured we could do it two ways. First, I'll look at like some overarching themes of like maybe what you could do better overall, like in like a broad sense, and then look at very specific things that we can do. Alrighty, so we're gonna go through this, and then we're gonna play some Tetris after. Okay, so just looking here, looks like a pretty standard build, so nothing really to say. Builds decently fast, like it looks like he's building high. That's really good. And we're just gonna go up here. Ooh, okay. Is he gonna panic? No. Oh, it looks like he's doing bait strat, switching to attackers. That's really cool. So bait strat is, ooh, thank you for the sub, Mushimeo. So looks like he's going for bait strat, which is a really popular strat. What I like so far is that he didn't break right away, which is the temptation of a lot of new players. Instead, he's building high. Okay, so nothing really too noticeable. He has like 6 people attacking him, which is optimal. So nothing noticeably bad. He's building decently well, and he has 6 people on him. I will say one thing though. This is something that I've been experimenting with, and if we want to maximize kills, and this is what you're really going for, what I've learned is more optimal is to switch from KOs and attackers after each line break, and I'll explain why. It's a little bit complicated, but in your damage queue, you can get up to, I believe, 12 lines in your damage queue, and you can only send a maximum of 12. So if you do 15 damage in one line break, and you send it to one person, they're only going to receive 12. So the idea here is how do we get the most KOs, and how do we put enough pressure on the most people possible? So what you could do here, and we're just going to show how much damage one line break does. So we're going to watch and just show you the number that pops up. So that's 12 lines. So you can send that to one person and put a lot of pressure on them. So you put it on KOs for one line, and if you keep attacking the same person and you do 12, you do 12, you do 12, it becomes redundant because they can only have 12 lines of gray damage in their queue, and anything more is just not added on unless they keep, reducing the damage. So what you can do is set it to KOs, do your 12 damage to one person, and then immediately switch to attackers the next one, and you have the damage divided up amongst all the other people, so they'll take like 2 to 3 lines of damage. And this is what I found to be more effective at getting more KOs. So in short summary, you switch from KOs and attackers after each line break. And I asked, I think, Doremi, who has gone a 50 KO game, and he also does the bait strat that you're doing. And he says that it gets him a lot more KOs. So that's just one little thing to note. So overall, like the strat, you're building pretty well for yourself here. Okay, so a little bit of a micro thing, but you probably noticed this after. So I would have swapped here the red piece for the purple piece, because after that puts you in an awkward spot where you don't know where to put the red piece. So that's just a minor thing. You could have put the red piece on the side, and then that would have solved a lot of issues, but alas, we couldn't really do anything. Good recovery. I mean, I like that even though you messed up here, or you created a hole, that you quickly continue dropping. A lot of people panic, so I really like that you didn't stop building, and that you're willing to create holes and just keep going. That's something that's really hard to teach people, to just say, okay, just keep going. So this is looking pretty good. We already talked about swapping between attackers and KOs after each line break, so I'm not really going to mention that again. So overall, the use of singles is really good. I really like what I see here. Okay, Yeah, you're just building pretty clean. You're building flat. I really like that. I would say that just in terms of building philosophy, I'd also like to point this out. So it's going to come up again. I rewinded 10 seconds. So here, you want to build as flat as you can. So keeping it horizontal like this and moving it to the right to fill the right columns is more ideal than what was done here, because you create more of a vertical thing. And if you notice here, now you have a larger uneven board. So I would have preferred that you just build as flat as you can and move that piece to the right so that your board's flatter and more it's more easy to accommodate to other pieces in the future. Now it's going to start to become a little awkward because you put that piece in the middle. But here's a good recovery. So again, you could have done that too. Oh, I hate this 10-second scroll back. So we're going to point out to the next thing. So here you could have put the red block on the right side and that would have worked. But your solution isn't really bad either. But and it ends up working out. But just in general, I like the whole flatter, if we can, over a more vertical build. Okay, that's good. It seems like you're doing pretty well so far. So nothing really else to comment. We're just going to keep cycling through. All right. So good reflexes there. So good recognition here. You say in the commentary, hey, no one's attacking you anymore. But part of why people would attack you is if you're in red life. So you actually have to, if you want to continue the bait start, you have to build high until you get to red. And that's part of why people start targeting you, was because other people were in red and you weren't. But overall, you have good awareness to know that you got your badges, and that you just need to go for the W here. 15 kills at the spot's really good. Okay, so we are just keep going. You're building flat. I love it. You have a really clean board. You have that line piece as a backup. And you're pretty healthy here. I mean, if people attack you, you can quickly counterattack with the Tetris. So overall, I like what I see. Ooh, okay. A little bit of a... Alright, let's see. There's a little bit of a difference in philosophy I would have here. So that piece is fine. What I would have liked after this one is, instead of creating these awkward gaps with the orange piece, you flip it once and you move it all the way to the left side. I think that would have been a little bit better. Or you swap for the green piece and you put it horizontally next to the red piece so that you have a slightly flatter board. But now, if we look here, my mouse is here. Now you have to these gap indentations, which are tougher to deal with. But you end up fixing it, and it ends up working out. But in order to maximize the chances of it working out, you want to just continue just to build flatter. But overall, you are building pretty flat. So that's a really good carve. A lot of people don't know about that carve where you can shrink your board without a line piece. Always have your line piece intact. That's good. You always have a backup plan. So nothing to really note here. Okay, a little bit nerve-wracking, but you already know. Okay. Oh, that was an unfortunate swap, but you can quickly fix that. Ooh, good carve down. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Okay, sounds good. It's 21 KOs is really good. And then he cleared the well, so he can just fix the right side. Okay, looks like there's a little bit of nerves, but it's pretty good. Okay, he's building up. I love that you continue to build up. You don't have a lot of aggro on you, so this is really good. I love that combo. It's really good. You don't need Tetrises to maximize the damage, and I'm glad that you recognize that. So things are looking pretty good. You have a safety net. Ooh, this is actually looking pretty good. This is looking good. All right. I love also the fact that you're not filling in wells that have the next hole for the most part. Oh, that was a close call. Okay. Still looking pretty good. This is where we're going to have to go into a little bit of specifics. Ooh, that was a bad switch. Okay, but you can still live this. Alright. You can live this. Middle. Okay. Good rotation. Okay. That's pretty good. Oh no, he thought it was the other L. Alright. No, okay. Okay, we can go over specifics. There's some things I liked and some things I don't like, but hard to really assess this in real time. Okay. You opened your well, that's good. Okay, it's looking pretty good here. Oh, and you won. Okay. 29 KOs is really good. You're dancing, celebrating. Okay, so Endgame is probably where it's going to be the most interesting. So I'm just rewinding. Okay, no complaints here. That piece I agree with. Okay. So this is where we're probably going to diverge paths. That's okay. I would have actually, in one of these cases, I would have actually swapped for the line piece and put it in this column here. And then I would have put the purple piece right next to it. And I would have put the square piece here. So we have the blue piece, the purple piece, and the square piece. And how I would use the next three is I'd put the blue piece here. Or I'd put the square on this right here. I'd put the blue piece here. Or the line piece. And I'd make sure I put the line piece before the T piece because there might be a chance where the line piece doesn't get over. And then you can work from there. But not that in the world, just a minor comment. It ends up working out for and this is where it gets pretty interesting. I like that spot. Oh, yeah, that's an unfortunate swap. So you end up building out of it, but and I think you already know that that was like a mistake, but let's see what I would have done. So I would have put line piece to... I would have put one of the line pieces here in this column, and then I would have put blue piece immediately above it. But I think what happened was you swapped, thinking that this was going to fit here. So I think there was like a recognition issue of... I didn't know which line piece, which L or J piece fits here. So I think that's why you panic switched and you realized, oh crap, like that's kind of going to be an issue. And you end up getting stuck there. That's fine. I love that you build quickly there. Minor optimization. Let's see. So this was good. That was good. I would have actually used this piece here, the Z piece, and put it... I would have actually used this piece to go in here. And then I would have used the blue piece after to fill in this L. And then I would have used the line piece to go to this side. But this solution isn't really bad either. This is still really good. Ooh. So minor thing. This is just where ordering of pieces and recognizing would come into play. So let's see. I would have... So at this spot, I would have put the square piece here, and then we can put the orange piece comfortably above it, and then we could put the blue piece here, and then that gives us a clean carve down. So in recap, put this piece here, put the orange piece here. You're gonna swap the purple into your hole, and then you're gonna put the blue piece here to fill the side, and then you could carve down and create a nice combo for yourself. But this is like not bad, but you do get into an awkward situation. Ooh, that was awkward. So all in all, great stuff. I mean, you build pretty quick. You know how to not panic and slow down. The only thing I would say is that you tend to not recognize which L or J piece fits in a certain situation. So there's that. You reopen the hole. This is pretty good. Yeah, and this just looks like pretty good. You have all the badges in the game, so you have full control. It's only a matter of time before you win this. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. I would say you're pretty solid. This was a 29 KO game. So it's pretty good, and I'm actually, really impressed. I would just say horizontal builds, recognize your J and L's, and a lot of it comes down to just like reviewing and just seeing like, hey, like maybe there's a slightly more optimal way of doing it, but that comes from just rewatching your matches, being like, oh, like I could have done this instead. But for the most part, I like that you just continue, you gut through it, and that you're building pretty quick, and your decision making overall is pretty good. So that's what I would say is like, your strengths, you're winning, you seem pretty experienced, and those are kind of my thoughts on your matches. So hopefully that helps you. And thanks for sending this video in for me.